Let's see what Jared has to say with and to show us as well with that sprint report. It is a long one here. Oh my goodness, 6 minutes, and we have basically 9 minutes of sprint reports. Let's see.
Horizon is more than just a space game. It's a means to explore the cosmos and make your way through the universe, charting a path that's uniquely your own. And wherever that path happens to take you, you're likely to need a ground vehicle at some point along the way. But when you're not adventuring, maybe you'll spend your time in your Hab, your Outpost,
Yes.
or your local hospital.
No.
Let's take a look now at how some of those are progressing and more in this week's Sprint Report.
No, I would not spend time in my hospital. I would send people to the hospital. It's different.
Starting things off this week, let's begin with some smaller updates from the EU-PU feature team, who just completed a sprint on bug fixes and visual updates to existing systems like the Refinery kiosks.
Oh, nice. That's just a random screen, right? This is not what it's going to show when you go to the refineries. It shows you impurities, semiconductor, crystal growth, and material density. It's not going to be in real time, right? I don't think it is. Probably some generic screen.
Including this new welcome splash screen and a fix to the close window button that, well, wasn't working before.
Yes, it's true. The close window button was not working and it was very annoying. Very annoying.
Also added an auto logout for those people who go to the library and like to leave their email open for anyone else to see.
Yes, it's true that this is also something that I could see. People finish using the refinery, and I was like, oh wow, this guy's got a lot of quantanium and laranite. You could see everything that people were doing, and they're going to get an auto log off. That's a nice touch. They didn't have to, but it's good to give players a little bit of privacy.
They also continued work on the mining UI in line with the new subcomponents.
Oh yeah, those subcomponents coming up here in Star Citizen Server 3.13. Here we got a little bit of UI with all of the different stats here that they are adding to the verse. Very nice, very nice.
Talked about last week. The new additions allow for the display of precise benefits from each component,
Yes.
and also work for the previous consumables as well, so players can better and more knowledgeably tune their mining experience. They're also working on animating the scan bars as part of an overall push to expose more and more information to the player.
Oh, very nice. So we got this is pretty much the same here. The instability, the composition, so far there's not much difference here. What's the difference? I don't see the difference here.
Members of the modular content team recently completed a sprint on the non-commercial overlays for refinery decks coming to Alpha 3.13.
Okay, so where are
What you're
they?
seeing here at the moment is a pre-lighting pass, which always does a lot to sell the proper mood and atmosphere of industrial areas like this.
I mean, that's
What they
just
did
the
here
interior of
was
a
take
of a
some of
house
the more
station.
common traversal areas in several of the stations and began ripping out many of the adverts that were present, exposing more of the layered industrial guts that were previously hidden to the player from underneath.
Yeah, that's true. There were too much other adverts here, and it does feel more industrial and more functional rather than just some kind of commercial area. That is true. That's a good move here.
Also gone are some of the seating areas, plants, decor, and other amenities found in the larger stations, and a more utilitarian and functional space is left in its wake. Now, this isn't being applied to every station, but only a few select smaller ones with refinery decks in an effort to distinguish them a bit more from their flashier, more commercialized cousins.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that. It is quite subtle indeed, but he's right. So they're not going to be for all the rest of just the ones like, for example, those are the Lagrange points, basically. But this is not something that you are going to see at the orbital stations around the planets, because those are the rich ones with the cargo decks, and those are going to have maybe more traffic.
Now, it may be a bit flat looking at the moment, but once the lighting pass changes are in, it'll begin to bring out the personality a bit more in these smaller, more industrialized stations.
I suppose we'll have that. You know what Jared says here? It means that we're going to have more sections, more segments in Star Citizen about that.
If you remember our segment on the Interaction Zoo with Calyx from last year, you may be excited to hear that folks from the lighting team have begun to dig into his toy box of technical knickknacks and playthings to set up a habitation testbed of their own.
Nice.
Starting with splitting all of the existing lighting into sectional circuits
Oh.
that can be controlled or affected by the player individually.
Nice.
Such as a proximity sensor in the foyer to light and delight the entrance, a master control panel with different lighting states for the entire hab, localized controls for each distinct area like the kitchen
Oh,
or the
so
bunk.
cool. It's just like a real home.
And then, in case you still weren't able to set exactly the mood you're looking for, control of the individualized prop lights like lamps.
Yes!
Giving players unprecedented control of how they light their own space.
That's awesome. It's almost like a, you know,
The next step
a
in this
lantern.
prototyping is to explore integrating the destructible and replaceable colored lights from the interaction zoo, providing even more customization options for players going forward.
Oh, this is going to make us feel even more at home in those Habs. I'm loving this. And this is what iCache is bringing to the table, guys. Without iCache, this would not have been possible. But they're having the first iterations of iCache, you know, at their hands. It is not for us right now in the verse, but the devs do have it. They're starting to work on it, and they are bringing in the content, and that's what we're seeing here.
Let's check in on the continuing white box progress of hospitals by stepping into New Babbage once more and seeing where they're at.
Yes.
Now this is the view when you leave the service ward and enter the lobby. And right off the bat, we can see the ceiling has been altered since the last we saw it to reveal even more of the Aspire Grand up above.
Good. Yeah, I think that the hospital is going to look phenomenal on New Babbage. And it makes sense because New Babbage, you know, is a high-tech location, which is also going to be where they're going to have the state-of-the-art technologies, not just for, you know, our ships, but also for medical too, which makes sense. You do want New Babbage to have the flag hospital of the Stanton system because that is where it's basically the place that is the most technologically advanced, maybe in the whole Star Citizen universe. So that's why they are going to work on that hospital, make it as polished as possible, and make it as the best experience possible. Because in the end, that's definitely a place that you will want to visit at some point.
See is still on the right, but now on the left we have new information and security stations as well. Now, if we head back into the wards themselves, we can find nice communal areas like this gorgeous view of the New Babbage skyline. Off to the left and right leads to nurse and doctor and triage stations and many of the kinds of areas you'd expect to find in a fully functioning hospital.
Of course.
Now, even though this is still in white box phase, you can imagine what it'll look like with New Babbage's trademark signage helping to distinguish between the various recovery rooms, surgical theaters, storage areas, blood labs, and more.
Blood labs.
And if you play like I do, you're going to spend a lot of time here, so it's important that it can handle the load.
It is. And again, those hospitals are coming up normally, if everything goes right, when we have the new iterations of Horizon. So it should be coming in 3.16 by the end of this year. So there's plenty of time. We're going to see plenty of segments about the hospitals too. And it's also interesting to see how it goes from here, white box and then gray box and then final art. Plus, we're going to also have our first tier of medical gameplay with, you know, the first tier 0 in 3.14. Of course, it's just going to be with the med gun, but then, you know, it is gradually going to expand when eventually one day we will have to use ships like the ambulance, you know, the Cutlass Red and the RSI Apollo, which it's still not a roadmap. Hopefully, maybe next year I will be able to use those ships, sending wounded players or NPCs alike to those hospitals, maybe to the information center that we saw, or maybe some of those wards, and maybe make new missions, have new gameplay, make money off those hospitals. I can't wait to see how this is going to be playing out. But so far, it does look that 2021 is bringing a lot to the table when it comes to content, gameplay. It seems that the floodgates do seem to be gradually opening. I'm really happy with the prospects of this year so far.
Did I make that same joke last time? You bet I did. It's a test to see if anybody's paying attention to what's being said here. Fidelity.
I don't know what
immersion,
he's talking about.
Bespoke. The hospital will really punch above its weight class.
The hospital would punch above. That was fun, Jared. Oh, what are we looking at here?
Report these days without a continuing look at the progress.
Where is that? That is not Microtech. That is not in the sentence system. Is this, are we looking at some planets in Pyro?
Progress of our colonialism outposts. So here's a look at further White
Oh,
Box
look, a
progress.
Herald.
Most of the work this sprint was in determining all the things White Box is normally used for, such as working out how all the various modules will connect and function with one another, figuring out how to set up the necessary viz areas while adapting for the sloped exterior walls.
Oh yeah, look at those slope exteriors. This is nice. This is nice. Those new interiors here that are coming up eventually throughout this year, right?
Continuing to work out all the necessary runtime environment probes needed to allow lighting from the exterior to creep in through the windows to the interior, and potentially the other way around as well. Basically, it's work preserving the necessary modularity so that these outposts can work in multiple configurations while adapting the
What a
blend
comfy
tech to
bedroom.
properly allow for spill into each room without noticeable lines everywhere. Folks also want to take another pass at this bathroom area, which is currently feeling a bit too much like a spaceship and not what we'd expect to see in a frontier outpost.
Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have a bathroom that's gonna be a little bit more creepy, because that
Working
looks like a
design
nice
mark-
bathroom, right? You see, that's a very big shower, very lots of space here for the toilets. Guy is very casually doing his thing in front of the bathroom.
Mark out interactable areas or future spaces for players to customize their space further with equipment or even decorative flair all their own.
Oh, did you hear that, guys? Future spaces for players to decorate with their own flair. Yes, of course, those outposts that we're seeing that are for NPCs, one day they will be for players as well to own, that are going to be our own houses where we're going to have our own flair. That is what we want in those those MMOs. Our own space where we can customize, show our achievements, show our own memorabilia from previous, events, special items that would have earned from special, factions and missions. Put them on display, say, I've been there, I've done that. Like in Star Wars Galaxies, but finally we're gonna have that maybe one day in Star Citizen. I can't wait for that either.
The social space in the center has gone through several iterations in the last couple weeks. As things sometimes do, it began to balloon in size before it was decided to bring it back in to a more intimate setting. Here we see one of the various connection collars that can link to a number of different modules, including this garage we first showed a couple weeks ago. The current thinking here is that there should be an airlock here so that
Yes.
the garage can be depressurized if necessary on certain planets or moons, as well as a hatch up above for the very same reason.
Yes, it's true, right? You should not get to the garage directly because the garage is going to open and close. You need an airlock, obviously. Otherwise, you're going to lose all the air in houses. It's good that they're thinking about that now, not than later, right? Homestays were, yep.
Ultimately, it's just nice to follow along with the continued progress of these outposts that'll first be used in NPC settlements across Stanton and Pyro, and then eventually be rolled out to player use after that.
There it goes. So first we'll see them on Standard Power. He did not say Nyx. He did not say Nyx. He says Standard and Power first, even though they're working on Nyx either. Interestingly, say why not Nyx?
Finally, before we let you go this week, there are sprints, and then there are tiny experiments devs do from time to time to see what's possible. And recently, someone on the VFX team tried revisiting our existing lightning effects ahead of some expected work on Pyro.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
combining that with our new and upcoming emissive particle lighting system to see if they could improve the look of one of Star Citizen's oldest assets, the dying star from Arena Commander.
Oh, it's funny because earlier this week I tried to play Arena Commander with my community on Twitch. It's just bad. They need to work on those.
Now this is literally a VFX doodle done during a meeting, but it's got others excited about the possibilities not just in improving existing maps like Arena Commander, but applications elsewhere like in gas clouds in the persistent universe and at the center of the forthcoming Pyro system, which was the inspiration for Arena Commander's map to begin with.
It's true. Well, it does look good for sure. Not sure I would want to run into one of those in my ship. Yeah.
So what did we learn this week?
All right.
Well, we
Well,
learned that
that's
there are many
pretty
ways
much
left.
it for this sprint report. Very interesting. They're talking about, once again, I would like those sprint reports to talk a little bit more about the gas stack. Why are we not seeing those clouds on the around the horizon? I want to see more of Horizon 2. I want to see more of Pyro. Please, CH. It's great in those homestead. I like it very much, but we see we see those homestead, those hospitals, and the fire, which we didn't see this time, so thank God. I would like to see that a little bit more. But again, I like what I saw here. Pretty cool. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know for the giveaway question. I always forget the giveaway question. We got this amazing giveaway this month again, right? Do you own a land claim? As far as I'm concerned, I would love to have. I was too late. I didn't have money when the land claims were in, so I didn't buy one. Do you own a land claim? Are you looking? Do you want to buy some land claim with real money, or are you waiting for land claims available in game as well? Let me know in the comments down below. As far as I'm concerned, I came in too late, but I cannot wait for those homesteads to also come. We need, obviously, we need iCash to be in, but I think that some of those NPC homesteads are going to come sooner or later. Especially, we don't need to have them in Pyro. We can have them in the Centrum system before Pyro, right? So that's why this opens up to more gameplay as well. Bounty hunting, hunting people down in their homes too. Deliveries to homesteads, right? And we are going to have those new deliveries coming up in 3.13. It brings a lot of new possibilities. Hey, Dunkel Aura says Habs inside caves. Why not? Why not homesteads inside caves for smuggling bases? Absolutely. The possibilities are endless. With that, guys, is the end of our video and our live streams for those people here watching live on YouTube as well. Have a wonderful day, guys. Don't forget to please hit the subscribe button and the like button if that is not done yet. It really helps the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys next time for more content on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.